just I guess like with this whole like transition, we don't know what's gonna happen, in the future. Just like how have you like adjusted just like being home, like workouts, and stuff like that?
I mean, I'm an introvert just naturally, so like being home is cool with me. But as
Yeah.
far as adjusting my workouts, um, shoot, I just try to do like a lot of high intensity workouts, like a lot of hit workouts we call them.
Yeah.
Just so I can get my heart rate up as much as possible. Um, and if I do have to go outside, of course, I'm just gonna run to where I'm going and then run back. So like, of course, it's always protected with a mask, gloves on, and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much my workout. And then I'll jump rope for like 20 minutes or so, and that's my cardio.
Yeah. That's what's up. Yeah, so I mean, I've been following you, your journey. You have a inspiring story. I seen you at Rutgers all the way up to WNBA, getting drafted, winning WNBA champion. I mean, I'm just like spilling everything I know about you, but so just want you
Thank
to
you.
kind of like talk about like that journey, and then playing overseas. How's that like just living the dream, I guess, and how's it been for you? Just kind of like just doing what you love.
Man, the dream, been a long dream, I guess. Uh, Man, I guess just you want to start at Rutgers.
Yeah.
It was definitely great, and it was special to be able to play at home, right? To play in Jersey, and not only just to play at home, but to win at home, and 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 to bring something special back to the state of Jersey,
Mhm.
and to also give something. Patterson is where I'm actually from, Patterson, New Jersey. To give Patterson something to smile about again. Just understanding that I had a lot of people, watching me at all times for different reasons,
Mhm.
and never really wanting to let them down. Because where I come from, I know a lot of people from like the inner cities, not only in New Jersey, but across the country, across the world. I mean, a lot of times they feel like they don't have like opportunities, right? So when you feel like you don't have opportunity, you just naturally fall into the habits and within the stereotypes
Mhm.
that they have for us. And I wanted to be that speck of light to show them that just because you come from nothing doesn't mean that that's the end of your story. You can create your own story. So be able to leave to being able to leave Patterson and being able to get to Rutgers, um, make it to the championship game,
Yeah.
and just showing them that shoot, even against the odds, you can make things happen. And then being able to play on a Coach Stringer, I mean, Hall of Fame coach,
Mhm.
an even better person. That's the most important part there. That she was an even better person. She not only coached us, she she was she definitely had a hand kind of like raising us the women we are today.
Mhm.
So being able to leave there, become a professional athlete, head into New York Liberty. I played there for like 8 years.
Mhm.
Being able to do the same thing there, just being able to continue on building a legacy, right?
Yeah.
And to bring winning back to New York City. Um, that was amazing, and be able to do that in front of everybody at home, people from Jersey, my family that's in New York. That was amazing.
Yeah.
That was a feeling like unlike any other. And then leaving there, taking a chance and going to LA. Um, I left on my own terms. It was time to make a change, and it seems like that change actually worked out
Mhm.
in my best interest.
Yeah.
First year over there, we won a championship.
Yeah.
It was amazing. It
Mhm.
was amazing. I know, the group of women that were there. We had an amazing time.
Mhm.
You know, everybody will tell you it was always ups and downs within the season, but that season was like record setting.
Mhm.
For many different reasons, and just to be a part of that is something special. And so that in itself, winning a championship on the highest level,
Yeah.
man, a lot of people don't get a chance to do that.
No.
So being able to actually achieve that, And then from there, I skipped over the first 8 years of playing abroad, playing overseas.
Yeah.
But to go from there and then fly over to Turkey and be part of an organization that 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 had a winning tradition too. And it wasn't like it was a long winning tradition because it was a fairly new
Yeah.
organization, Yakandol University. Um, but they knew nothing but winning. So to continue that there, we won what President's Cup, Turkish League, Euro Cup. So
Mm.
that was three championships there and in that season. So that was you're riding off the high of the WNBA championship, and then you go there and then you win three more. And it's just like you riding a high all year long. And it was an amazing feeling. It was so fun. It was just like nothing could go wrong.
Mm.
Um, so that was just amazing. And when you think about it, you have a chance to stop and think about uh, your ability and your opportunities to travel the world and
Mm.
see the world, see different cultures. A lot of times we watch TV or we're on the internet and or you hear about how things are in other countries, but you never really have a chance to experience them firsthand.
Right.
So I've been blessed to be able to experience certain things firsthand and to understand that, the world is a beautiful place. Different cultures are beautiful. And just because it's not, exactly like yours doesn't make it any less than. So being able to engulf myself within all these different cultures, that was another amazing thing that I've been able to do over the years.
Mm.
So I go over to Turkey. We win those three championships. Fly back to LA.
Mm.
It was another pretty good season. We made it to the championship game.
Mm.
Unfortunately, we lost in game five. Um, it didn't, work our way, but it happens like that
Yeah.
sometimes. But it
Yeah.
still was an amazing ride.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
No,
So
for sure. I remember vividly. And
yeah.
so then no, I've been seeing your music though. That's pretty dope. Like, athletes they try, pursue a career, but I feel like you're the only like successful like female rapper I've seen. So I just want to ask,
Well, I
yeah, that's
mean,
tough. How'd you get there?
I talk about the music thing, but then again, I only really talk about it when someone asks. But I mean, a lot of people don't know. I low key started music first, right? So when I was a kid, I didn't play for a basketball team, like an organized basketball team, until I was like 11.
Okay.
Yeah, till I was like 11. So that's like sixth grade. So I mean, but when in the hood, you play basketball all the time, but
Yeah.
it wasn't organized. It's just that you playing 21, but in Patterson we call it scud. We call it scud. So that's what we do. That's all I was doing. It wasn't organized or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I was definitely already studying music at 9.
Wow.
So studied music at 9. I went on from there. I studied music all throughout elementary school, grammar school. Then I went to performing arts high school. And I played all my sports at Eastside High, world famous Eastside High. Lean on me. Shout out to Mr. Clark, Joe Clark, and Morgan Freeman. But yeah, so I studied music all throughout high school. That was my focus
Yeah.
throughout high school, was actually music. Basketball was just something I loved. I also play other sports too. But and then from there, even studying music in college. Um, and then I just never let go of music. I've always been doing both at the same time. So I have a different type of appreciation, a different type of love for music, right? So
Yeah.
it's not just my love for hip hop. I fell in love with hip hop when I was a kid, for sure. But I was brought up in a house that listened to old school R&B and soul and jazz.
Mhm.
So my appreciation for music runs deep, right? And then when you get to college and then you're studying world music, studying the origins of music, right? So you're not just listening to R&B, rhythm and blues and jazz. You taking them all the way back to where it started.
Yeah.
When people was beating drums, and that was just the music. It was no other instrument. And just actually picking that apart and studying that and studying the different cultures and what kind of music they make and stuff like that, and how music influences the mind and how how it influences everything. It's pretty much, I like to call music is the soundtrack of life. You know, life is happening, but music kind of like tells the story. You
Mhm.
know, it's the soundtrack to everything.
Yeah.
Um, so like, I mean, to others, you know, that's just, you know, taking a first listen,
Mm.
they probably like, oh man, here you go, another basketball player trying to rap and things like, oh, here she goes, it's a hobby, you know, like
Nah.
this is what I do. And then I also work in the music industry, so it's just like,
Yeah.
nah, this isn't that. Nah, it's different,
Yeah.
and that's definitely no shots or jabs at anybody, because I love that people appreciate music and this is how they express themselves.
Mhm.
But at the same time, I know that like I said, my love, my passion for music is just different.
Mhm.
Is, you know, it runs a little deeper. And, you know, it's not just surface. So
Yeah.
I mean, I know a few athletes can actually relate, and you know, on that level.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah,
Yeah, no, I can definitely tell like music's very deep and it's really good and I read that article.
I got some new stuff for you, yo. I got some new stuff for you coming soon.
All
It's
right.
getting Stuff is getting mixed right now, mixed and mastered for y'all. So
Yeah,
it's coming real soon. Yeah.
I'm tuned in. I got you on Apple Music and everything. I'm tuned in. But yeah, so like so the internship. I know I already read the article, but I kind of like want to hear like, like more in depth. But so I saw you got hurt. You hurt your elbow and then cuz you're supposed to like go
Mhm.
back overseas and then um that's when you started your internship like just like how was that experience for you? Was it like, finally I get to, sit down and work on my music or was it just like something else outside of basketball? How did you like feel at that moment?
You know, when I decided, well, I don't want to say I decided to have surgery. I needed surgery, so that there was no way around it. Um, but you know, when that came around, I was like, dang, I'm gonna be sitting in one spot. I'm gonna be stuck in Los Angeles. I can't go home.
Yeah.
You know, what should I do? What should I look into? You know, is it gonna be school or, you know, something? I'm just not gonna just sit around and do nothing. You know, I like to be efficient with my time and make good use of it. And then when I found out about the internship or mentorship program that the WNBPA was offering,
Yeah.
along with the WNBA, I decided to look into a couple of things. And you know, it so happens that it just worked out.
Yeah.
That I was able to get an internship with Priority Records, which was, you know, at the time partnered up with Caroline, which is under the Capitol Music umbrella.
Okay.
And it just worked out. So I interned for a couple of months, and then that's when things start shaking up.
Mm.
And I was able to land a job there. You know,
Yeah.
handed, yeah, man. I, you know, submitted my resume, did the interview, all that good stuff, and you know, they said I was a good fit, and I was able to land that job. So I started at Priority Records, working in tandem with Caroline, on the production side of things. And you know, for Priority, I did quite a bit of things for Priority, not only just the production, but you know, I had my hand in a couple of, you know, different pots with that. Um, and then you fast forward, I was able to actually start working with Motown, the world famous Motown.
Yeah.
And you know, that right there, that's amazing, because it's like if you grow up on the oldies, the old school music, right? So historically, that's a great achievement, right? Just to even be in the building, right? And
Hmm.
but then to take it even further, you look at the new Motown. So people don't even know who's on Motown nowadays. They still think it's just, you know, all our, you know, our classic acts,
Yeah.
you know, or our legacy artists. And it's not just them. Like, of course, we still have them, but you
Yeah.
know, we have people the likes of like Migos, the City Girls, Lil Baby,
Hmm.
um, who album went #1 this year. So that's dope. Of course, and then we have like a bunch of like developing acts that are just gonna be like, when you guys hear them, they're just dope. Like
Hmm.
Neomza, we got a Chaz French.
Yeah.
Chaz French from DC. So I mean, so you should know Chaz. So
Yeah.
Chaz is, you know, shaking some things up now. He's coming back on the scene. Took a little hiatus, but he's coming back. You got Malachi. You got like if you want, you got the traditional like Kim. I don't know if like your parents listen to Kim, but Kim is the man. He's smooth. Kim is smooth, man. So we got Kim too. We got a pretty tough roster.
Yeah.
So just being able to work with a record label that gives you the future and also gives you the history behind it,
Mm,
it's just like all you can ask for when you're trying to like learn, right? When you're trying to learn and when you just a music connoisseur.
mm,
So it was just like, wow, I get to work at Motown and I get to play in the league at the same time. So it's just like when they tell you that focus on this one thing, focus, 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 focus.
mhm,
You know, I, I'm not saying that you should break your focus. What
mm,
I'm saying is that you should realize that you have the capacity to do more than one thing.
mm,
Now, it's up to you how much time you're going to put in to wherever that is, or wherever those things are to perfect it. A lot of that comes with sacrifice. And the thing is, what I think a lot of people do is that just because they weren't able to do it, they automatically, write that off on you. And that's not how life works. I'm in control of my life, you're in control of yours. You chose to not do that. This is what I choose to do.
right,
As long as I can do both efficiently, I'm always going to encourage people to explore and go after their passions, no matter what they are. As long as it's not detrimental to yourself or somebody else or just immoral, I'm going to encourage anybody to do that. So, like I said, living two dreams at one time is amazing.
right. Yeah. Shoot, my next question was, how do you process that? Like, you living both dreams, and that's a lot.
It is. Sometimes I don't people like, how do you have time for it? Well, I'm just like, man, all I've been doing is managing my time since I've been a kid. It's been times where I had to miss like games,
Yeah.
like whether it was basketball, whether it was a volleyball game or a track meet because I had to do a piano recital,
Mm,
right? So like this is all about time management and you got to learn to sacrifice some things. Some things like you just don't need, but to us, we do them in our leisure time.
right.
So I take that leisure time and I sacrifice it in order to hone my skill in something else because I know when it's all said and done, I'll get that leisure time back, but I won't have this time to build what I'm trying to build. I won't be able to get that time back, right? So, it's just all about time management and just as far as just like just taking it all in. I just try to take it a day at a time, right? So if I focus a day at a time and make every day that I spend like I try to be the best for that day.
Yeah.
Like and whether it's the output, whether it doesn't matter what it is, like seize the moment, seize the day type of thing.
Yeah.
And you do that every day and you do it consistently, you you end up where you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
So I just try to, take it all in. So of course, sometimes we get ahead of ourselves and become frustrated because they're not happening as fast as
Right.
we like it to happen. But that's life. And when you understand that things don't necessarily happen in your timing, and that all you got to do is just worry about putting the work in,
Yeah.
it's gonna come. There's no way that it wouldn't come or it's not going to come. You
Mm,
just have to trust that what you got to do is just trust your work, trust yourself.
mm,
So that's what I do. I'll just try to trust myself, trust the work that I put in, trust the things that I've learned from people that have already done it.
right.
You can't be afraid to keep learning.
Right.
People always want to act like they know everything. We don't. People are constantly learning new things. There's always new information
Yeah.
for you to digest. And like when you got that thirst for knowledge, man, it's just like things never stop. Things keep rolling, and that's what keeps my engine going. That
Mm,
thirst for knowledge, a thirst for wanting to be better. Just a hunger for that.
yeah. No, that's real. That's real. Like, especially during this time, like, what advice would you give, I guess, like, to everybody in a sense? Because everybody's probably kind of like struggling with this quarantine, or maybe, some people are cool with it, but like, what advice would you just give people in general during this time?
Man, there's a few things. One is just find your peace. Whatever you got to do to find your peace, do that. right? So I always tell people to make sure every day they have they set aside some time, no matter how long or short that time may be. Set aside some time to do something that you love. Because I know like a lot of people, I'm blessed, right? I'm blessed to to have two jobs that I absolutely love.
Yep.
But reality is everybody doesn't have that opportunity, right? So it's people out here working 9 to 5s that
Mm.
don't necessarily love their jobs, but they got to put food on the table,
Yeah.
right? So they just got to go. They go through the motions,
Mhm.
right? That's fine, right? That's okay. But in order for you to keep your peace of mind, keep your sanity, for you to feel refreshed, you're gonna have to set aside some time, whether it's a half hour, 20 minutes, an hour, to do something that you actually love, whether that's writing. Shoot, it's people that's working in the grocery store that could sing like nobody you've ever heard before. If
True.
that's what you love to do, but you don't have a record deal or something like that, shoot, for that 1 hour at home, if that's what you love to do, you need to be belting your lungs out. If that's what really makes you feel good. If
Right.
you're a writer, take some time to write, you know? Like if you're a movie buff, take some time to watch television. That's
Mm.
not necessarily my thing, but whatever makes you happy, that's what you should be doing
Mm.
every day. Now,
Right.
doesn't mean it's going to be the whole day, but you need some time for yourself. Always take time to yourself. Make sure that you healthy first, and that's mentally,
Mhm.
emotionally. I mean, if you into it, that's spiritually, you
Yeah.
know. So take care of yourself first. Secondly, it's like, yo, I know it's a lot going on right now. It's a lot going on, and whether you consider yourself a conspiracy theorist
Mhm.
or, or not, it doesn't matter. Look, this is what we're facing right now. So let's make the best decisions for right now in this case, because what we do, the decision we make, is going to directly affect someone, right now.
Mhm.
And And what I hate to see is just people just ignoring what's going on, just doing whatever they want, and
Mm.
then all of a sudden, here they go. They got their grandmother sick or something like that because they didn't want to listen because they were being a bonehead or something like that. They because of their ignorance or something like that. So it's like, yo, just adhere to the rules right now. We don't need any more. We don't need any more smoke. We don't want smoke right now. We don't
Right.
want none of that right now, right? We want this to pass. And you know I'm out here in LA, but the rest of my family is back. Rest of my family and friends, they're back in Jersey and New York.
Mhm.
And just to hear the stories and to see people that I know lose loved ones, that hurts, and it's happening at a fast pace, a fast rate, a quick, a high rate.
Yeah.
And for some people to be ignoring that and acting like it's not happening, and that's crazy to me. you
Yeah.
know it and it you know it infuriates me. Like like it's crazy.
Yeah.
But so that's another way to stay healthy. um and just don't lose hope.
Mhm.
A lot of times when the world goes through times like this, right? um People tend to lose a lot of hope, but hope is what keeps people going.
Mhm.
Like even when the situation isn't the most ideal.
Yeah.
So even when the situations aren't the most ideal, I encourage people to still keep the hope, still keep your hope. No, it doesn't solve everything, but the hope oftentimes is what saves people.
Mhm.
And I'm more into that business, saving people. I'm more into that. So it's just like, yo, let's hope for a better day. Let's do what we got to do. Let's handle what we need to handle today, so we can see a better tomorrow. Or if you don't think a better tomorrow will come, it's like, okay, well, it might take some time. It's okay. That better tomorrow might be next week, next month, next year. But
Yeah.
as long as the hope is there, we can at least keep it moving. We can keep it going. Um. So yeah, stay hopeful. You know, stay smart and take care of yourself.
Dang. Yeah, that's deep. Thank you. This was good for me. I appreciate this thought for real. And Yeah, I think that was all my questions. Unless you have anything else you want to say, I really appreciate your time. For real.
Oh man, shoot, what do I have to say? Man, I don't know. Love yourself, cherish yourself, love your family, your friends. Tell them you love them. Um, shoot, should know that you matter.
Yeah.
You know, and if you don't see that you have an opportunity, you go and create the opportunity. It's not easy, but that's all we've been doing since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
And taking times like this and creating magic from it. It's like we're musicians. Sorry, not musicians. I'm talking about myself. Magicians. So it's like we magicians. So we create something from nothing, and I believe that that's still possible. And man, just keep it going. Don't lose hope, man.
Yeah.
I just a lot of time. I guess talking to a lot of people at home, you could just see like it seems like the life has been sucked out of them, just because of the things that they're seeing on a daily basis and the fear that they're living in. It's like, no, we can't give in. We cannot give in. Not right now,
Mm.
So yeah, that's pretty much it. And I guess new music on the way,
Yeah.
produced by me, written by me, it's gonna rap by me. Now I
That's
got a couple of co-producers on there too. I got a couple of cool features on there, just finishing up some things. So trying to
yeah.
get that out to you, or at least a couple of singles out during this quarantine. I mean, it's a lot of stuff is ready to go. Finishing up a couple of things.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a moment. It's gonna be a moment. I have some things to say,
Mm.
and just looking a little deeper into myself and into the world itself as
Yeah.
we know it.
Sure. I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure a lot of people are, and yeah, just keep doing what you're doing, man. It's inspiring for real. So
Thank you. I might hit you with an early link or something, early file or something, just so you can, what I'm saying,
I
just so
appreciate
you can
it.
vibe out to it for a little bit. For
Yeah,
sure.
dope.
For sure, man.